Chris, United States Marine Corps, February 2005 till May of 2010. I served in Iraq in 2007. I was fire team leader, and they were about to go out on patrol. So as I just came off watch, I didn't have to go out on patrol with them. But I want to give one of my boys a break, so I took the radio from him. Was like, "You just chill on the wire, and I'll go out." So we don't say anything. The villagers are really friendly and everything. You know, the goats, the kids playing soccer. So we go to the bridge. Well, before we get there, actually, a guy comes across the bridge, and we're like, "There's something not right about this guy." You know, you just there's a sixth sense. You know, when you're there long enough, you could just kind of feel people, and you could tell what's off. But, you know, we can't just go off of suspicion. So we get this guy and we check him and everything checks out on him. So we're like, you know, keep an eye on him, you know, just while we go across the bridge. So 2x2 across the bridge. And because I'm carrying the radio, I'm next to the squad leader and I'm in the middle of the patrol. So I go across the bridge and I'm talking with my staff sergeant, the squad leader. And he looks at me and, you know, you're supposed to keep dispersing the distance between, but, you know, we were having a conversation. And he was like, "Hey, you know we're walking a little close." I'm like, yeah, we are. Like, all right, well, why don't you slow down? And no sooner than he said that, I woke up in the hospital. And I didn't even know what the hell happened. I forgot I was in Iraq. I didn't know anything. I knew I was in the Marine Corps still. I didn't know what happened. I had no idea, but I knew this wasn't right. So I started pulling out things out of my arms and I started trying to get up and walk out of bed. Didn't make it too far. And I was in a coma for a couple of days. And I could barely remember Iraq. And I could barely remember much of anything. And when I asked the doctors, they didn't know what the hell happened to me either. They were like, "You got blown up." I was asking, because I thought I was hitting a vehicle, I was asking, you know, what happened to my boys? What happened to my turret gunner? What happened to my driver? What happened to the crew in back? You know, what happened to this Marine, this Marine, this Marine? And they're like, "We don't know." You know, and that was the worst feeling. You know, not knowing what happened to your boys, especially because I was a vehicle commander, that means I did something wrong. So, you know, as I found out later on, I was on foot. It made me feel so much better because I was the only one hit. You know, it was I was like taking a load off my back. When I first came to, everything was in cast: left arm, left leg, right arm. I mean, right leg. My right arm was the only thing not messed up. And you know, I didn't know the severity of my injuries, so I asked the doctors, you know, how long before I can go back? You know, when can I go back? And they're like, "Oh, 6 weeks. You know, just give it a few weeks and your bones will heal and you can go back over there." I'm like, "All right, awesome." 6 weeks turned into 12 weeks, 12 weeks turned into 18 weeks, 18 weeks turned into 16 months. I actually had all of my limbs when I came to in Maryland. And they really didn't tell me too much about amputation. They told me they were considering it, but, you know, not worry about it now. Then when I got transferred to Balboa, the Naval Hospital in San Diego, I had to go through physical therapy and everything, but I still had a lot of hardware on me, you know, a lot of external fixators and everything. I go down there, and they told me I should consider amputation. Just consider amputation. And that was I couldn't, no. They told me I wouldn't have, they told me that wasn't an option. I wasn't cutting anything off. I came in the world with it. I ain't taking it off. It's going out with me. And I cried, like for a couple of days, I cried, you know. Almost as hard as when I cried, you know, when I found out my boys were gone. And then I figured, I met a couple of amputees, actually. I didn't even know they were amputees. They come strutting in my room and sitting down to talk with me. I'm like, "All right, man, what do you know? Whatever." Then he gets out and he walks out and he's got shorts on and he's missing his daggone leg. I was like, whoa. Then I go down to the physical therapy, the C5 unit there, and there's a guy doing backflips down the hallway with one leg. I was like, not bad. So, and the option of amputation started seeming a little better. They told me they could fuse it and save my leg, and that would probably mean that I could not stay in the Marine Corps, I could not run again, and so many things that I would not be able to do. And then I remember seeing the guy doing backflips. I was like, well, you can do a backflip on one leg. What's the point in having two legs when you can't do anything with them? So I told them to cut it off. When they cut it off, it was really hard. Like, it really kind of screws up your image of yourself, you know? I hated going out when I didn't have my leg, when I actually didn't have my prosthetic, because people looked, and when people looked, people asked, and people asked, I mean, I had to talk. And I had to talk to people I didn't know, and that was the hardest thing, because it's frustrating when you try and talk to people that don't understand. You kind of go into this bubble, and the bubble you don't want to leave. It usually consists of home, work, and a select few friends. You don't want to interact with anything outside of that bubble. You don't want to go to stores. You don't want to go to movies. For the longest time, all these great opportunities were coming up, and because I was in my bubble, I refused to participate in them. I wasn't going to do anything. I wasn't, snowboarding, I ain't doing it. Cycling, going to car races, I ain't doing it. If I got to leave my room for any more than 12 hours, it ain't happening. There's a bridge that goes over from San Diego to Coronado, the island, and it's the Bay Bridge. And every year around May, they have a 5K run walk over the bridge. And all these people were gonna run it. And I was still in my wheelchair. I had my leg, but I wasn't really supposed to walk. And my left arm was so messed up, it was a one-arm drive wheelchair. So I had to do it with my one arm. And my friend was like, I'll do it with you. I'll push you up it and we'll go out and do it. So I did it. I went up the bridge. And coming down the bridge, the wheelchair broke. So I actually had to, that was my first time really walking without anything. I walked across the finish line, and I was like, it was great. And the people were there clapping, and the people were happy and excited. And I was like, wow, this feels good. I like this. And the whole no to everything, it stopped. Like that day, I stopped saying no. If I had no reason to say no, I wasn't going to. And that's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, is that when you stop saying no to everything, so many more opportunities come along, and that's what really got me out of that bubble that day. And the bridge opened up so much. Actually, I had a good friend of mine, one of the guys that saved my life, and he came back from deployment, and he's deployed many times, and he's come back fine, but this time he's come back and he just couldn't understand why he was sad all of a sudden, and why he was mad, and why he cried all the time, and why, all this stuff happened. He thought there was something wrong with him. And, why all the guys he was there with, none of them were doing it. But, I had to tell him that they are doing it. They just hide it, just like you're hiding it. The only thing wrong with you is not going to get help. Because it takes true strength to ask for help. And he did, and he's doing a lot better now. You can't be fine coming back from some of the things that you've went through, that happens over there. It's just impossible. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to go get help. It's okay to talk to people. Your situation may be unique, but it's not the only one like it. Somebody else has been through it. Somebody else is willing to help you through yours. Just, you have to ask, you have to talk.